A woman who refused to take no for an answer and faced war, racism, illness to help the sick, sometimes even on the battlefield. A woman forgotten for about 100 years after she passed until Caribbean nurses visited her grave. A little Jamaican who is now saluted all over the world in the field of medicine for her brave contributions. Voted the greatest Black Briton in 2004, Mary Seacole is a Jamaican you need to know. Now let's dive into a little bit of her bio. So Mary Seacole was born Mary Joan Grant in Kingston, Jamaica in 1805 to a Creole mother and a Scottish father. It was from her mother that she learned nursing. Her mother, nicknamed the Doctress, kept a lodging house at East Street, Kingston, where she nursed army officers and their families from Up Park Camp. At age 12, after much observation, Mary was allowed to help her mother with the patients. In 1836, Mary married Edwin Arosho Seacole, an invalid who is said to have been the godson of British hero Admiral Arosho Nelson. Still newlyweds, they moved to Black River, where they established a store. Sadly, though, he died soon after. And then Mary's mother also died later, leading her to operate the nursing home in Kingston. Although Mary was one of the victims of the cholera epidemic in 1850 in Jamaica, she traveled to Panama to set up a hotel with her brother. While there, she diagnosed what might have been the first case of cholera to occur in that region. Again in 1853, when yellow fever ravaged all over Jamaica, Mary's skills were brought to the fore. She returned to Panama in 1854. Her arrival coincided with the cholera epidemic in that country. Here she aided in medically treating cholera victims and as a result became known as the Yellow Woman from Jamaica with the cholera medicine. Later in 1853, when Turkey declared war on Russia, an intense fighting took place in the Crimean War. She decided to offer her services as a nurse. Many soldiers were dying not only from war wounds but also from illnesses such as cholera. Mary believed that her experience with these diseases would be of value in Crimea. In her endeavor to work as a nurse in Crimea, she wrote a letter introducing herself to Florence Nightingale, who was responsible for the group of nurses going to Crimea. Nonetheless, such attempt was unsuccessful. Therefore, she continued to seek assistance and support in going to that area. Her reputed attempts proved futile. However, she didn't give up. She decided to go on her own and use the assets she had to build a facility referred to as Mess Table and the British Hotel. The facility provided medical assistance, food, and other services, and was mainly used by officers. The mess table, as Seacole called it, was established in Spring Hill, 2 miles from Balaclava and a mile from the British headquarters. Before long, the facility became a fixture of the war because of the services Mary offered. In addition to the services she provided at the British Hotel, she made home visits to campsites and got supplies that were otherwise unavailable. Mary would set out carrying bags of lint, bandages, needles, thread, and medicine, accompanied by food, so sandwiches and other food and wine and spirits and water, arriving on the battlefield at dawn. Such activities were no doubt risky, but she was devoted to her cause. Mary returned to London deeply in debt. However, the British commander-in-chief of the Crimean forces and the Duke of Wellington and Newcastle organized a 4-day festival of music and gave her the proceeds. Subsequently, she published an autobiography entitled The Wonderful Adventures of Mary Seacole, which included her time in Crimea. Mary Seacole died in England in 1881. Before we get to the honors, that's just the general short version of her bio. There's so much more through the research that I did that I found out about Mary, and it brought me to tears because she was so brave. She didn't take no for your answer. Them turn her down. She built her own thing. She actually had a partner based on one of the articles that I saw. And she built the hotel basically from scraps. She was phenomenal in what she did. Her sons were also said to be there, so she was helping out as much as she could, risking her own life many times. Going out where gunshot of fire and be things are going, and she had try give the people them water, feed them, take care of them as much as she could, using her Jamaican medicine mixed with European remedies. Sadly, though, after the war was, cooling down and ending, and, the soldiers didn't really pay, some people never pay her. So she ended up, getting a debt and she moved back home with nothing. But there was a newspaper article that said that our bankruptcy gone public, and so therefore the soldiers got together and called her mother Seacole, because she was like a mother to them, and them are pickney, and they actually ended up putting together and getting her out of that. You know what's the funny thing too? History forgot her for 100 years because she was black in such a time, and her background was in nursing, but they're saying she was incredible in what she did. But in fact, they should have studied her methods because they did help. She believed in, as we in the Caribbean normally do, to ensure that the areas are clean. But extra, I mean, if we're extra clean, I may be biased. But yeah, one of things extra clean. You've heard of some of the remedies that we've had here that you probably never hear anywhere else, probably in Africa. And there's some Chinese steam medicine and Indian base. But some of these natural remedies and some of the things that Mary was doing. She was also known for our rice pudding because she used to cook for them and make them feel good and organize cricket match and bake things. So I really do believe that she should be a hero based on what I've read. And I think go ahead and do your own research so you can learn more about this wonderful lady. Courageous, dedicated, diligent, smart, great business sense, and just selfless. Now let's get back to the script. Let's talk about the honors. The memory of Mary Seacole was first honored by the nurses of Jamaica. Big up Jamaica for recognizing her contributions before anybody else did like that. When in 1954 they named the projected headquarters Mary Seacole House. 9 years later, the association acquired a life-size bust of Mary Seacole, which stands in the headquarters. The bust is a reproduction done by a Jamaican sculptor, Mr. Curtis Johnston, of the original one located at the Institute of Jamaica. Definitely need to visit the Institute of Jamaica to look for that. After a return to England, Mary Seacole was presented with the Crimean Medal, which the Jamaican government in 1991 awarded her with the country's third highest honor, the Order of Merit. The Female Hall, for those who used to go UE when you know this, the Female Hall of Residence at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies also bears her name in recognition of her distinguished contribution to medicine, healing, and nursing. The British government in 1993 announced a bursary in her name valued at £25. And since there have been several initiatives that have, begun in honor of Mary Seacole. So there's a trust, there are different organizations. So she's well recognized in the medicine field because I've spoken to several nurses around the world and they know of her. So big up Mary Seacole. We salute you not just on Black History Month. Someone mentioned in the comments that we are always doing Black History in Jamaica. So it's all year round. We salute you, Mary Seacole. Thank you so much for your invaluable contribution to healing, to medicine, to helping others, caring for others as if they were your own family. All right, guys, that's it. We do it a bit different today with a script and also with my general summarizing of what I've read. Feel free to do your own research to learn more about Mary Seacole, the magnificent Mary Seacole. We'll catch you again when we'll do another person that you need to know about or be reminded about. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, stay blessed, stay upful and as healthy as you can. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think of what we've done in this video. If you like it, if you don't like it, whatever it is, tell us in the comments. All right, bless up.
The doctor, who became a legend among British troops at the front line. Middle-aged, illegitimate, and from the outer reaches of the British Empire, she was one of the most unlikely celebrities of the Victorian age. Her name was Mary Seacole.